Hello and welcome to another edition of Jamaica Magazine. I am Adrian Atkinson and I'll be your guide on today's journey. We have an informative and engaging program lined up just for you.
Water is precious. So we encourage everyone to practice the 4 R's of water conservation. Always remember to reduce your use of water wherever possible. Replace water wasting devices with water savings devices. Reuse water wherever possible. And wherever leaks are found, please repair them and repair them quickly.
Don't delay. Practice the 4 R's of water conservation today.
Thank you so much for staying with us right here on Jamaica Magazine. More Jamaican stories are finding their way to the big screen. Up next, we take a look at the premiere of Redeemed, A Father's Love, and the growing possibilities for Jamaica's film industry.
Begins with an idea. Bringing it to life takes vision, talent, and opportunity. As the faith-based film Redeemed, A Father's Love premieres before a Jamaican audience, the spotlight shines not only on the screen, but on a growing local film industry, proving that Jamaican stories belong on the big screen.
This is a moment in history where Jamaica stands to be proud, and I'm proud to be a part of this moment. Listen, find people with talent. As long as you find talent, build on them. We are the ones who build Jamaica. Heart of the movie is paternity issues and the power of forgiving after. While it speaks to paternity, it speaks to other issues. Jamaica is plagued with crime and violence, and the #1 issue we have is unforgiveness.
Stories like these are taking shape and finding space because both the government and those in the industry are creating opportunities for local talent, investment, and employment.
The film industry is on a boom right now, and it's not just movies everywhere, movies coming up. It's really quality movies. We have excellent writers, excellent editors. We have talent here, and I really think that the film industry in Jamaica is on a boom. It's on a rise right now.
And the talent is already showing itself on screen.
I was really blessed with a very super talented cast. They took direction very well, and they were very good.
For Michael Nicholson, who we may know as String Beans, the production offered a very different kind of challenge.
What I'm happy about is that we actually put the police in a good light. It's bad enough we have to carry a cell phone, and I get that. But now having a firearm as part of the uniform, I had a newfound respect for police and the things they have to do to keep law and order.
But for Nicholson, the value of the production extends beyond his character.
The fact that the church is the one that has done this particular one, I think will push a lot of other churches to follow suit. And I think for us as Jamaicans and as an actor, it can argue for more work for us. And I think we're very happy that we're out there now. People can see our work, not just on television, but on the big screen.
And then there's the younger generation, already finding its place in the industry.
My name is Alasia and I play young Julia.
Her character's journey is one of finding direction, something she says resonated with her personally.
It kind of shows that no matter how lost you are, you can still find your way.
The forgiveness and the caught between two lovers, and making a decision and, to really say who is the right father for the child. That's a lot of women in Jamaica, all over the world, they may have gone through this situation, and to see that in the movie, it came out who is the real father.
Then there's Justin On, taking on the role of the film's villain.
I would hope that people would take away the relationship that you could see he has with his daughter, and two, how he operated under a certain system, under the circumstances that he was given. He had choices, but he chose to go on a certain path instead of choosing perhaps a righteous path.
When the lights dim, and the credits begin to roll, the story doesn't end there. It lives on in the jobs created, the businesses supported, and the talent inspired. It's another step in building Jamaica's film industry.
Come down. Well, this is a real business?
I should think so. You don't see them dressed nice.
How could be well-dressed criminals? Let me see, because you can check for a registered business on COJ website. You know that, right?
We can check online?
Yeah, man, things up now. You can check for a registered business on the Companies Office of Jamaica website. There's so many things.
Yes.
Transformation is happening across the public sector. Many services are now available online. We are building a better public service for all. Brought to you by the Transformation Implementation Unit.
From local shelves to international markets, Jamaican businesses have the potential to go even further. Up next, to explore Export Jamaica and efforts to make the global marketplace more accessible to local exporters.
As Jamaica sets sight on exceptionally increasing exports to the world, this strategic objective is being supported by a rebranded Trade Board Limited. This agency in the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce has also launched a transformative trade tool dubbed Export Jamaica to make it easier for Jamaican goods and services to enter the global marketplace.
It's a groundbreaking global market intelligence and compliance gateway. At the Trade Board Limited, we have long recognized that many potential exporters consider the task of finding markets and counterparts overseas daunting, and some believe the process of exporting is too complicated to try. Our two initiatives are geared to solve these two problems.
The new online trade information platform aims to revolutionize the landscape for Jamaica's potential and existing exporters by advancing trade opportunities and fostering economic growth.
The Jamaica Trade Board's adoption of a new name and logo serves as a laudable testament to their commitment to fortifying trade services with Jamaican businesses. This strategic rebranding initiative represents more than a symbolic change. It signifies a profound dedication to adapting and enhancing trade services to meet the evolving needs of the business community.
It is providing the catalyst for businesses to succeed by bridging the gap between buyers and sellers from Jamaica to the world.
With timely, accurate, and actionable market insights. Whether you are a seasoned exporter seeking new markets or an aspiring entrepreneur taking your first step, this gateway will be your trusted companion.
Exploring new markets is one of three main categories encapsulating more than 21 modules that are driving the Export Jamaica Gateway platform. These include the Best Country to Trade module, which uses country profiles, import and export details, statistics, and other associated information to help persons determine where and who to sell over 5,000 different products.
The second category, Engage Businesses. This section utilizes a collection of different databases to discover potential trade partners and marketplaces in your desired region, along with valuable resource for facilitating international trade.
This Engaging Business category also provides a counterpart module search tool to help persons identify over 1.5 million companies listed worldwide and specific products they import or export. A database of business directories covers more than 1,800 business directories from around the world. Professional associations and trade shows are also available. along with a marketplace module that gives access to a database of over 510 marketplaces, as well as a module with tenders from around the world that Jamaicans can use.
The third category, customs and compliance, where users are able to obtain information needed to manage their shipment and comply with rules and regulation in the target country, as well as find the applicable duties at the product level.
All necessary documents to authorize the departure of goods from one country for entry into another are identified on the gateway for all parties involved in the trade and transit process. A blacklist counterpart database is there to help exporters know whether a company or individual has been placed on any official list of parties sanctioned or banned from foreign trade transactions around the world. Not only does the Export Jamaica Global Gateway provides help to existing and potential exporters, it also supports local manufacturers and producers seeking to source raw material for their production and the government involved in the export process. Export Jamaica helps with the requirements to get exporters into target markets.
On the gateway, we have also saw the need where there was need for additional tools to support the information that was provided. These tools would include a landing cost calculator, which is a tool to calculate duties, import taxes, transportation and insurance charges for importing of goods into any country around the world. There's a selling price calculator, which is a tool to determine the selling price of a specific product, including all the necessary costs related to exporting.
The revolutionary trade platform is giving Jamaican businesses access to market trends, insights, regulatory updates, and other trade intel, meticulously adopted and customized to meet local needs.
Which contains over 25,000 industry and country-specific market reports and industrial insights.
Jamaican exporters are also set to benefit from an online export academy, a Q&A type facility.
Export Jamaica is not just a tool, it is a promise of efficiency, transparency, and global reach. Let us use Export Jamaica to unlock new horizons, find and make good use of export opportunities, and elevate Jamaica's export landscape.
Persons can access the Export Jamaica Gateway by going to the URL tradeboard.gov.jm/Export Jamaica, or by clicking on a link accessible on the Trade Board's website to create a profile and register.
Once submitted, the Trade Board will then verify this information against the company's office database just to verify that this is actually a benefit that we are giving to the Jamaican population.
What kind of ESN paper this?
I'm a birth certificate.
You what?
Birth certificate.
Hold on. Let me help you.
Where are you?
Me apply for your birth certificate online on the RGD website. Your lucky things improve and get easy now. Is there not any security feature? How your granny could have write this?
Transformation is happening across the public sector. Many services are now available online. We are building a better public service for all. Brought to you by the Transformation Implementation Unit.
In an emergency, knowing what to do can make all the difference. Let's learn CPR.
Everyone clear. Press flashing button.
Clear everybody, I'm clear, you're clear.
Shock delivered.
Most emergency happen at home, so you're not really in an hospital. So knowing what to do will enhance the chances of saving life. So CPR is very, very, very important to start immediately. So when somebody collapses, the first step, you must ensure the scene is safe. Now, depending on where you are, let's say it's in an office space, just by moving a chair, moving a table, you can make the scene safe. Now, once the scene is safe, the next step is to check for responsiveness. And checking for responsiveness, you're tapping the shoulder of the person, so you tap and shout, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Now, once you tap and shout and the person is not moving, they're not talking, they're unresponsive. Once they're unresponsive, the next step is to shout for help. Now, you shout now loud for help because CPR is a long and tiring process. And you don't want to start CPR and nobody knows that you're there performing CPR. So you shout for help, somebody answer your call, and they say they've soon reached you. They're not there as yet. In that time, you should be checking for breathing. So you check for rise and fall of the chest and check for breathing simultaneously. Are you doing that for at least 5 seconds, no more than 10 seconds? Once help now arrive, you would then tell them to call the response team and get an AED machine. Christina, call the response team and get an AED machine. Now, the AED machine is a device used to analyze and detect that abnormal rhythm of the heart. And that's where the AED machine comes in. Most persons will say call the police just in case of an emergency. But what we would teach you is to call the firefighters, because the firefighters are trained in first aid and they're trained in CPR. Now, let's say they don't bring the AED machine to you as yet. You then start giving compressions. Now, compressions is where you're compressing at the center of the chest, lower half of the breastbone. You're going at a depth of at least 2 inches or 5 centimeters. The rate is important. So you're going at a rate of 100 to 120 compressions per minute. You're giving 30 compressions followed by 2 breaths. And you're doing that for 5 cycles. So 30 compressions, 2 breaths, that's 1 cycle. 30 compressions, 2 breaths, that's 2. And you're doing that for 5 cycles, which equal to 2 minutes of CPR. And then follow, you will give 2 breaths, which 1 breath lasts for 1 second. You're giving 2 breaths. Now, to know that your breaths are effective, you must see the rise and fall of the chest. And once the chest rise and fall, your breaths were effective, and then you go back to giving compressions. And that's CPR in a nutshell. Every second count in cardiac arrest. Now, that theme is I think it's very fitting, because you don't want to waste any time. Immediate care enhances a chance of survival, save life. And you don't want to delay help. So once you recognize the emergency, recognize someone has collapsed, you know immediately you want to start CPR.
Think artificial intelligence is just sci-fi? Look closer. It's actually the quiet partner helping you tackle your to-do list. From the maps that dodge traffic for your morning commute to the personalized playlist that knows your mood, AI is making daily tasks faster and more intuitive. It's not here to replace us, but to assist us. No matter your age, it's your digital assistant, helping you focus on what really matters. Artificial intelligence is changing how we live and work, making everyday tasks easier. But the heart behind the technology is still human.
When an earthquake strikes, every second counts, and we all know preparedness can save lives. Let's take a look now at how Jamaica's security forces are prepared to respond when the ground starts to shake.
Jamaica is prone to earthquakes. The country's susceptibility to this natural disaster is because the island sits on a very active Caribbean plate margin. An earthquake is a sudden violent shaking of the ground as a result of movements within the Earth's crust or volcanic action. Although earthquakes can be devastating, the country's security forces are equipped to deal with any eventualities. Once an earthquake happens, both the Jamaica Constabulary Force and the Jamaica Defense Force will initiate procedures and set up their communication centers to disseminate information. An individual from each entity would be the liaison officer between the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, and the security forces. This will aid in efficiently deploying individuals to affected areas.
In the initial phase, the JCF would establish
a command post at the Police Emergency Communication Center, gather information as to what transpired or what occurred, and to provide that information to ODPEM.
The security forces will also provide safety, especially where dislocation happens.
We would be required to ensure that the area or areas affected are properly cordoned and secured. We'd have to ensure that routes leading to and from our major hospitals are clear, or to provide information as to the clearest and safest routes to and from those hospitals, and ensure that they are maintained in a safe manner for the emergency units to respond.
A key asset of the JDF in the aftermath of an earthquake is the Disaster Assistant Response Team, DART. This team includes specialized engineers, medical practitioners, and logisticians, among others.
They are so equipped that they can be moved to anywhere in the island and be self-sufficient for a period of time in assisting ODPEM or the government of Jamaica in general with any disaster.
The JDF has many capabilities. Its engineers can help with heavy equipment and search and rescue, while its medical personnel can be projected to other places across the island and assist the Ministry of Health with providing care to injured persons. The JDF also has an air wing that comes in handy during disasters such as earthquakes.
There are strategic aircrafts that we're able to use to hoist goods, equipment, etc. as required from one place to another. In an earthquake, the likelihood of the roadways being blocked or congested exists, and as such the movement of cargo, etc. for assistance will be reduced.
And if there is a fire after an earthquake?
Our aircrafts are also equipped to move personnel as well as to assist the JFB, particularly in areas where we might have fires, fires in urban areas, etc. We are so equipped to use what we call a Bambi bucket system to douse such fires.
The additional assets of the Defence Force provide further assurances to other sections of the island as well.
Now, in the JDF, all soldiers are disaster risk officers. So for those that are in the western side of the island, if the disaster is concentrated in the western side of the island, they have the basic training that is required to then start the process of assisting the ministry elements, ODPM, etc. There until our specialized elements are moved to that area.
Unfortunately, when disasters happen, sometimes there are unscrupulous individuals who carry out acts to capitalize on the vulnerability of others. Both the JCF and the JDF say they are able and willing to prevent crimes of opportunity.
Ensure that those who would want to seize the opportunity to commit crimes, such as looting, don't get that opportunity.
Of course, last but not least, the JDF assists the JCF with internal security, policing, so to speak, within the country. In an earthquake situation, there might be need for key point protection, protecting of key installations to prevent theft, etc. We are ready and able to deploy to assist the JCF to ensure that these things does not happen.
Jamaica has had several major earthquakes and tremors. The earthquake unit, which records seismic activities on the island, recorded a 5.4 magnitude earthquake on January 13, 1993. It was the most significant earthquake recorded since 1957. As a result of this earthquake, Jamaica experienced damage to houses, buildings, and other infrastructure. So although there are no specific times for earthquakes to strike, citizens and other individuals can be assured that the security forces are ready to act if a seismic activity occurs.
In light of increasing natural disasters, it's crucial to be prepared. Part of that preparation involves safeguarding your vital documents. This can save you from added stress and complications. Here are some essential tips to ensure your documents are protected. Let's start with the basics. Vital documents include birth certificates, passports, insurance policies, medical records, and property deeds. These are the lifelines you'll need during and after a disaster. Make digital copies of all your important documents. You can scan these and store them on a secure cloud service like Google Drive, Dropbox, or OneDrive. This ensures you have access to them from anywhere with an internet connection. Digital documents can also be stored on a USB drive. Store physical copies of your documents in a waterproof and fireproof safe or cabinet. These are designed to withstand extreme conditions and can be a lifesaver. Place the safe or cabinet in an easily accessible location, but not where it could be easily found by intruders. Put together a grab-and-go bag with copies of your most crucial documents. Include essential items like identification, insurance policies, and emergency contact information. This bag should be easy to carry and placed in an accessible spot in your home. Lastly, keep your information updated. Regularly review and update your emergency contact list and ensure all documents are current. By taking these steps, you can ensure that your vital documents are protected, giving you one less thing to worry about during a disaster. Remember, being prepared can make all the difference. Stay safe and stay informed.
Did you know that the Road Traffic Regulations 2022 outlines specific rules about how motorists must use their headlamps? Headlamps aren't just for seeing the road. They're designed to keep everyone safe, drivers, pedestrians, and other road users. Under Regulation 86, motorists must not use headlamps that produce glare or dazzle other drivers. Your lights should illuminate the road, not blind other road users. Motorists are prohibited from installing or using colored headlamps, including blue, red, purple, or any non-standard color. Only the approved white or amber yellowish lights are allowed. Headlamps must not be excessively bright or modified beyond manufacturer standards. Using off-the-market lamps that project stronger than approved beams is against the law. Flashing headlamps to give signals or intimidate other motorists is prohibited. Headlamp flashing should only be used in genuine emergencies or by authorized personnel. When approaching another vehicle coming from either direction, you must switch to low beams. High beams may only be used on clear roads without oncoming traffic. These simple rules reduce crashes, improve visibility, and protect every road user, including you and the people you care about. Now you know. Let us learn the law and save a life. Drive responsibly.
We are at the end of today's edition of Jamaica Magazine. You can stay connected with us online at gis.gop.jm and on our social media platforms. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thank you so much for watching and have yourselves a great weekend.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.